What if it's I want other women and you can't fulfill that?
Well, then maybe that's not the relationship for you and him.
Interesting. Now it's not the relationship. See,
And
this is
you
why guys don't tell women the truth, bro.
And you had to open one. It didn't work.
Because I don't know if you've noticed it, but everything you mentioned for fulfillment is like the feminine side. It's not the male side. We don't care about communication and all this other bullshit that women like.
So you don't care about having a fulfilled relationship with your girlfriend and actually being in love and fulfilling that and feeling that and
Wait, love.
truly
The problem
feeling
is that we can be in love with our girl, but she's still not going to fulfill us sexually. Men typically want variety,
Yeah,
almost always.
Yep.
And one girl simply can't do that.
facts.
Pizza, burgers,
Yeah.
fish.
What if you ate the same food every single day?
I mean, it's the same idea as porn and the instant gratification of clicking and clicking and clicking.
Well, that
and
should
the
tell you
dope-
something.
Yeah,
Why is
of
porn
course.
so ubiquitous in society today?
Because men can get that click and they can get that dopamine spike, and then unfortunately it
But
creates a situation.
let's go a step further. Why do men like porn?
Because they're looking to jack off more. Yes, because
No.
they do have more sexual. They want to get off more than women do.
No. Key is they want to get off how? Because they can just smash their girl if they want it, but why don't they do that?
The girl may not be available. The girl may be at work. The guy may be at work. I mean, like, guys get
The answer's in your
horny.
face. It's variety. It's variety, and women don't like to hear that, but the reality is it's variety.
I know that men want variety, but if they want to have a successful relationship and marriage and children, and that not to end in divorce, they're gonna have to learn to figure out how to control themselves, and or you're gonna have to have a communication with that person where they can like go have sex with someone once a year.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You said you have high standards, right?
Correct.
You want a guy that earns a certain amount of money and a certain type of status,
Not
height,
that earns a
etc.
certain amount of money, but that has a job and a purpose and is not, a low life.
Are you
selling
going to yield
drugs.
on those standards at all?
What do you mean?
Or are you going to lower them? No?
Not.
Nope. That's fine.
Not really.
That's cool.
No,
So you're not budging on your standards.
I don't like to. No.
So
And I
then why
don't-
should men
I don't think I
budge on
should.
their standards and deal with
But
only
if-
one woman?
But if your standard is to fuck as many women as possible, then you should not be in a relationship monogamously with one woman.
But what I'm telling you is that that's what men typically want.
Well, then you shouldn't be in a relationship.
It's just
with
that
one
most
woman.
men restrict that because of the response I'm getting right now. As a matter of fact, this is a very uncomfortable conversation for a lot of men to have with women, because women don't like to hear the truth that your pussy is not that special, and we want multiple women.
Well, that's fine.
We can love a girl for sure. She'll get the provisioning and the security and the last name.
but
But
then
men are always going to want sexual variety.
But then pretty much you're talking about,
In general.
polyamory. You're talking about
Polygamy?
Yeah, you're talking about polygamy.
Yeah.
You're saying that all men want a
Quick question for you: who wanted the polygamous relationship in the last one that you were in?
I did.
Oh, that's not normal.
No, it is normal.
No.
It's not.
Yo.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
It's
bro.
not.
If I was not fulfilled sexually by the partner that I had, and I told him that, and I said, hey, there's this, I was opened up to a world of that because I was doing a lot of yoga and things like that, and those
Yeah.
people can get a little woo-woo.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to it, and I said, hey, let's try it. I was 25 at the time. I'm
Yep.
10 years later,
Yep.
okay? This lasted for about
But you don't want to do it now.
No,
Yeah.
because I'm an adult.
But what if I told you if you took a man and he was 35, it ain't gonna change between 25 to 35. He's probably gonna still want multiple women.
I mean, I'm 35.
And the reason for that is because I'm willing to bet the man that you were in, that you had this relationship with, this polyamorous, this open relationship, you probably had more sexual market value than him. You were more attracted than him. It was a gift that he was even in a relationship with you. You could have done better. You knew you could have done better.
Yes.
Therefore, you were
Yeah.
like, okay, I will go ahead and get my provisioning and security in a relationship from you because you're a pussy. However, I will go ahead and have sex with more attractive and or date better men than you because I can. And he can't do anything because you have the leverage in the relationship. Would that be fair to say?
I allowed him to do the same thing.
Did you
You
allow him to
allowed.
do the same thing? See, keyword, you
well,
allowed
because
him to do the
this is
same
the thing. That when you have a relationship that's open, you have to talk about boundaries. You have to say,
Of
like,
course.
am I a priority person? And then, do you talk about the sex that you're having with other people? Do you not talk about it? Like, there's a whole lot of boundaries and things that you need to speak about if you're going to have.
So imagine
a
when you were
polyamorous
25, right?
relationship.
You were like probably at your peak or whatever, and you were able to,
Women in their
exude.
sexual peak at 30, but keep going.
That's actually not true. But
No, it is true. You can look
that's
it up. But go
actually
for it.
not true.
all right,
And let's make sure. So okay, let me. Because she's probably speaking from a feminine perspective that women are in their peak. Maybe they're like more sexual in their 30 or whatever. But for
No,
men,
it's
we
not.
find you the most attractive sexually between 18 and about 25.
Okay, that's what you find attractive.
Yes.
But our
men in general.
sexual peak, because we actually have explored our bodies for years,
Yeah, sure.
is in our 30s.
But that's irrelevant because that's like me saying, well, technically an 18-year-old boy is at his sexual peak because he's horny all the time. But who cares about an 18-year-old guy because he's useless to society?
Correct.
He's not sexually attracted to the opposite gender, so it's irrelevant. Same thing with a 30-year-old woman, no offense. Does that make sense?
I don't.
Like, just because you're at your sexual peak doesn't mean that the other gender is going to be aroused by that.
Yeah.
Because just like a man who's 18 hasn't created his value at that point, and he's not attractive to a majority of women that are 18 or 19 or 21 that can get with a guy that's 35 that's created his value, a woman that's 30 has lost her value.
So at 35 years old, I have now
Sure.
lost all. So you're saying, just correct me if I'm wrong, that because I'm 35, I have lost all of my value, even though I am a successful woman that is making money and financially secure and I'm happy.
No, that's
But
fantastic.
I've lost all of my value,
You
so
lost X
no
too.
women is gonna
No.
no man is gonna marry
Let me
me.
be very clear about this because
Okay.
women tend to misconstrue this and take this personally. Your sexual market value and how men find you attractive versus your personal success are completely different. For men, it's not, because our sexual market value is dependent on our success and our status and our stature. Women's, however, is not dependent upon that. This is why a man that's a millionaire can easily date a 19-year-old that works as a
Also
bartender.
depends what social economic class you're dating.
Realistically speaking, men are open to dealing with women that are not on the same socioeconomic level as themselves. However, women don't do the same, typically.
Depends. It's very hard to date outside your socioeconomic class.
For women. For men, it's not, is my point.
I mean, unless they just want to take care of
Which is why
someone.
when women, like, they get very offended when I say this, that when I say their sexual market value isn't high when they're in their 30s. And the truth is it's not as high as a girl that's 25, unfortunately, because men look for different things in the opposite gender. I mean, this is just biology. It is what it is.
Sure, that could be your opinion, but the people that I've dealt with,
It's a
definitely
biological
haven't.
fact.
Okay, sure.
They've done studies on this. They polled men between 18 and 60 years old, and they found men found that women between 18 to 25 years old were universally the most attracted to them.
That I agree with. I also don't believe I look 35, but that's irrelevant.
I mean,
But
again,
like I said, I asked you, so I'm 35 years old.
Yeah.
And I look young. Most people think I'm about 23 or 25, which I don't care what people think. I honestly don't.
Sure.
But you're literally saying because I'm 35 and men like the general statistics are 19 or 18 to 20.
that's typically when a
five-year-old
woman is
women.
most
So
attractive
now
to the opposite gender. Yes.
I am now off the market and an old maid.
I didn't say that.
By statistics, you did.
I'm simply saying that you are not going to command the same dominance in a dating marketplace that you did 10 years ago when you were able to